With the internet being so gigantic these days, it doesn't take long to gather 10 different opinions regarding potty training one's child. Sadly, most of these are actually heavily outdated, and considering potty training is so important for your child's development, this can be dangerous and hurt your chances of easily and quickly potty training your child moving forward. Nevertheless, you can't just simply rely on trial and error, but you need a plan for potty training. Otherwise, the whole thing will descend into madness and your child will be left confused. If you want to avoid cleaning up a mess regularly, keep watching this video until the very end, as I am not sure how much longer it will stay online. I have researched the topic of potty training extensively over many years, and will now, for the first time ever, reveal a method to you that has been proven to work with all children, even the most stubborn ones, within just 3 short days. Although I've been called a potty training wizard and many other names, I'm not too comfortable with this because I'm just a normal parent like many of you. My name is Susan Fox, proud mother of 3 beautiful and healthy children that I love to death. Today, I want to share with you my personal story of how I found the best way to potty train children. The funny thing is that it's something that I actually stumbled upon by chance. Over time, I developed a quick and effective technique and kept testing it, and I now can show you how you personally can potty train your child within just 3 days guaranteed. And most importantly, wouldn't you love to finally get rid of the diapers and all the smell? I know I did. When I was a little girl, I had the dream of having enough children for a soccer team whilst living out in the country by a river somewhere. Although I haven't reached double digits yet, it's funny how life really turns out in the end. I do now look after dozens of children in my own daycare center, so I have gotten to really know the habits and mindsets of children between the ones in daycare and my own children at home. With this many children in my life, potty training was a huge problem I knew I would have to overcome eventually. However, I was genuinely quite excited when my first child, Martina, had her first birthday, because I knew that the eventual necessity of potty training would be a journey we would discover together. Personally, I thought the experience would be a rewarding one as my 25-month-old Martina took the next steps in her childhood. Soon enough, she started showing signs of interest in that big white bowl filled with water in the bathroom, and a sudden feeling of panic hit me right in the face. I realized I had no clue where to start or what to do. Unfortunately, this is something we don't quite remember doing as children ourselves, so we have no experience in what to do or how to approach the situation correctly. With most things, we can relate back to what we were feeling or thinking, but this wasn't one of those occasions. Then I noticed it was strange that there are always people there to guide you through the early years, whether it's giving birth or burping our babies, but there is nobody to provide support for potty training. After recognizing it wasn't my fault, I thought I would ignore all the opinions and hearsay out there and look for a step-by-step guide on the internet, something you're probably doing right now too. Within about 3 minutes, I was more confused than ever before, with some talking about reward charts and stickers, whilst others discussed Japanese potties that would play music when you peed. I didn't know where to look, where to listen, and where to spend my money. I was quite literally being offered an all-singing, all-dancing potty. Many parents start with turning to pull-ups, and this is what I was advised to do at the beginning as well. However, I started to notice a trend at my daycare center. Children who skipped pull-ups entirely generally trained much faster using the potty. As I spent more time at the daycare over the next couple of months, this trend almost became a fact, which led me towards thinking pull-ups weren't as effective as many thought. As time went on, I kept seeing advertisements for pull-ups and other parents telling me I should jump on the bandwagon, but I couldn't work out why they were so popular. Then I took a step back and looked towards the motivation of the company rather than what they're offering the market. Let's not forget, the diaper industry is now worth billions of dollars because it's a necessity, and everybody is aware of their importance. This being said, it's a fairly unique market in that diapers are only required for a certain amount of time. Once children grow old enough, parents simply have no need for diapers, and the big brands know this, hence the pull-ups. At the end of it all, diaper companies are just like every other company in that they need to make as much money as possible, and pull-ups enable them to keep hold of a certain amount of customers for a little bit longer. Although they are advertised as this superb tool to help with potty training, I am 100% convinced that they extremely hinder the process and make it much harder for you to teach your child how to use the potty in the long run, while simultaneously filling the pockets of the billion-dollar diaper industry. Before we continue, a quick word of warning. I just want to give a small warning in the shape of a story, and it comes from my love of shopping. Just like many others, I like nothing better than to pass by shop windows whenever I get the opportunity. Even though I don't always buy anything, since most of our family income tends to go towards rent, bills, and food, it's still nice to try on clothes. And this time, I was with my Martina, now 25 months old, and we had just started the potty training process. Suddenly, some beautiful Gucci dress pants caught my eye, and I had to try them on. Of course, even before I reached the dressing room, I knew I would never spend that much on pants, but why not try them on for fun anyway, right? Now, I know for a fact that all women reading this have tried on at least one piece of clothing where it fits like a dream, and you can't pull your eyes from the mirror. For me, the Gucci pants offered me one of these moments, but I knew I had to take them off at some point. Since it was the first week of me potty training Martina completely on my own without a proven plan, it was so frustrating since I had absolutely no idea how to make her tell me when she needed the potty. And then it happened. In what seemed like slow motion from the movies, I unbuttoned the dress pants and they dropped into a puddle of pee on the floor. See, while my eyes were fixed on the mirror and those shiny pants, Martina quietly had an accident all over the changing room's floor. Not only did I have to pay $450 for the pants, but I was more embarrassed than ever in my life before. In these embarrassing moments in life, you can react in one of two ways. You cry and give up, or you use it as motivation to keep pressing forward, and I decided on the latter. Rather than letting it get me down, I was motivated to find the quickest potty training method, and I was in the perfect position to learn with my job at the daycare. Within a few weeks, I could see what methods parents were using and how successful their experiences had been with and without pull-ups. Soon enough, it became apparent that potty training is nothing more than a puzzle. You know what it should look like in the end, but getting there and finding the pieces that fit is another story altogether. Over time, I built a huge folder full of notes, and my daughter was only fully trained at 28 months. In the months leading up to this, I learned a significant amount and tried every method and trick there was. Plus, Martina had countless accidents, which made it a very frustrating, painful, and embarrassing time for the both of us. But in the end, I was so grateful to have everything in my folder because I knew I could use it again in the future. In addition to my folder, I started to get feedback from parents from the daycare and their own notes as to what they found effective and what wasn't working no matter how hard they tried. Eventually, it became a study, sometimes even an obsession for me, and the research was proving critical because it gave feedback for dozens of children rather than just my Martina. After around 2 years and after my second child, I found what I think is the best technique you will ever find on the internet in parenting books, in parenting courses, or anywhere else in the world. As you will see, it is a technique that has any child potty trained within just 3 days. Once I was confident in what I had created, I handed out copies of the most important notes at my daycare center. At first, I was a little nervous because I had worked extremely hard and didn't want to be embarrassed again or receive harsh feedback. But I was quickly rewarded when the other parents were approaching me and asking for the notes and whether I could help. Whenever somebody asked, I would pass over the guide and attach a business card to the top so they could contact me with questions, concerns, or simply recommend me to friends and family members. In less than a month, I gave my guide to over 173 mothers and fathers, and I knew I had found something fantastic. Every morning, I would walk into my office and be shocked at the amount of messages on my answering machine. The amount would grow day by day as people told their friends about the guide. Among the requests, there were others thanking me for the help and describing how easy potty training had become because they had my guide. Typically, I would have over 42 messages per day between the answering machine and email, and it would take me almost an hour to get through them all. As I said before, I gained titles such as the expert potty trainer or the potty training guru, but this wasn't the plan at the beginning at all, and honestly, it became a burden at times because people would get a hold of my personal contact information. As it happened, I started to get calls at home, and even though I was happy to help, I was running around after my kids, and this is hard enough even without the phone ringing all the time. One day, an old friend turned up on my doorstep in a surprise visit, and we got chatting about our lives, what had been happening, and how many things had changed since we last spoke. Of course, the topic eventually got around to my potty training technique, and I described the issues I was having with people all over the neighborhood and beyond giving me calls about how to master potty training in a quick and effective manner. I saw my friend smiling inwardly, and she asked me why I haven't published my potty training guide on the internet yet. Of course, I thought to myself, that's an amazing idea, and I could make everything available 24 hours, 7 days a week in an instant to anyone in the world who needed a proven and guaranteed potty training guide. Essentially, I wanted every parent to know the information I gathered over such a long and painful time, but I didn't want the inconvenience that came with it, including the home phone calls late at night. In truth, I couldn't believe I hadn't thought of this myself, so I decided then and there to do exactly that. Over the coming weeks, I packaged all the information I had into a superb video, book, and audio course that you can instantly access from the privacy and comfort of your home. And this is what you can now obtain from my website. If you are currently worrying about how you'll ever get your child to complete potty training, these resources are invaluable and will save you all the embarrassment and pain you face by starting with a proven system. With potty training, everybody talks about the stress of the child, but nobody discusses the role of the parent and how hard the process can be. Remember the Gucci dress pants? That wasn't so easy for me as a parent. Luckily, I've been there, so I know exactly how you feel. When you start with my guide, you will see the 6 essential pillars of potty training, and these lay the foundations for potty training. Following them is vital if you want to finish within 3 days. Below, I have laid them out so you can see for yourself. Pillar number 1 is preparing your child. Here, we ensure your child is ready for the process. Even if they don't look like showing any signs of being ready just yet, this section will give you my all-time best tips you need so your little one will look forward to starting the potty training system. Pillar number 2 is preparing yourself. Whilst your child is preparing, this section explains everything you need to do in the build-up to potty training and how to prepare in advance. Nowadays, many parents throw themselves and their children in at the deep end, but this usually only leads to some catastrophic results. With this second step, you'll be ready for anything that comes your way. Pillar number 3 discusses the first day of the potty training process. With all the preparation done beforehand, you're now ready for the first day, and this day is absolutely crucial to the whole training. Ultimately, the first day sets the tone for the whole process, so you need it to be successful. Pillar number 4 describes what to do to successfully navigate through the nighttime. If you've researched potty training before, you'll know there is one section missing out of every single guide, book, and resource, and that is what happens through the night. In this guide, you will find my unique approach you won't find anywhere else, and I can be confident in saying this because I developed it myself. As well as staying dry until the next morning, your child will even use the potty on their own during the night whenever necessary. Pillar number 5 walks you through the next 2 days. After the first day of training is complete, you need to follow this up with more good work. And so this section takes care of the coming days. By taking the methods I've laid out, your child will be motivated to run to the potty alone when he or she needs it. If you just follow 2 or 3 of my motivational methods here, the progress really starts to show already midway through day 2. And lastly, pillar number 6, which is called progression, not regression. Just because your child has gone to the potty once, twice, or even 3 times, this doesn't mean you should leave them to their own devices. Unfortunately, numerous children regress and stop going to the potty before screaming the house down for their diaper. And here is where almost all parents cave and give up, making the entire previous progress obsolete. With this sixth and final step, I'll show you ways to keep progressing until the potty becomes natural for your child, so there's absolutely no chance of regression. When reading this through, I realize you're probably shaking your head and feeling quite tempted to leave this video. In truth, I don't blame you because it sounds like a dream come true, and you're probably thinking, well, why isn't this common knowledge since we're in 2017? From humble beginnings, though, these resources have now helped over 316,000 people in over 162 different countries in just a little bit under 5 years. Whenever I receive feedback, I take it on board, and the program has been optimized and updated over a period of time, which means this version on offer today has been refined and is more effective and powerful than ever. If you need any proof of this, I kept the zip codes of all readers through the US in a database just to see how widespread my technique had become, and the results were simply astonishing. The app I used to create the map could only plot American zip codes, so the data you are seeing is not even accounting for all of my international readers. But the map clearly shows a satisfaction score of a nearly unheard 98.3%, and the less than 2% who didn't manage to nail it the first time, they retried my 3-day potty training just a few weeks later and succeeded the second time around. This makes my program the most successful in the market for potty training by a mile. A little later, we will look at some more statistics, but for now, I want to show you some emails and letters I've received from happy and relieved parents over the past couple of years. Tara from Columbus, Ohio wrote me, "At first I was extremely skeptical because I've tried online courses and various other resources in the past. When I spoke to my husband, he dismissed it, but we decided to give it a try anyway since we were having real problems with our son. After just one day, everything started to click, and we saw progress after 2 or 3 days. 3 weeks down the line, we're the talk of the neighborhood because our son wears underwear day and night with no pull-ups required. Thank you so much. This made our life a million times easier." And Charlotte from Seattle sent me the following email. "Wow, just when I was starting to think I would have an 18-year-old daughter named Melissa still in diapers, I came across your amazing website. When preschool is fast approaching and you have no idea when or even if your child will be potty trained, it gets a little scary and almost embarrassing. I was starting to feel as though I wasn't good enough. Over a period of months, I've tried everything you could think of, including potty dolls, books, and more. On the very first night after starting with your training, Melissa had a small accident, so I was a little worried, but then things started to improve. What's more, we were both having fun, and it didn't feel like such a chore anymore. In such a short time, she was making progress, and we were both feeling good about ourselves. Now, everything is perfect. I'm not so worried about her starting school, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart." This review I just received recently from Lucy in Portland and really made me smile. "At the age of 27 months, my daughter was struggling with potty training and it really got me down. There were days I would find tears rolling down my face. Unfortunately, we had accidents in the car, at home, at friends' houses, and anywhere else you can think of. I was getting to the point where I quite literally didn't know what to do when I came across your program. Desperate for it to work, I implemented it immediately, but took it slowly, and the results were amazing. Even though I took it slowly because I didn't want her to fail again, she took the lead, and I was simply blown away. Ever since, we haven't had one accident, and I wish I came across your guide much earlier because I would have recommended it to everyone I know." From these 3 reviews alone, you can see just how parents are enjoying my program, and it makes me so happy to read through all of them. I sincerely hope that the next email I receive will be from you. If you're still feeling some doubt, though, I should mention that I am currently including 3 amazing bonus products you will receive with the potty training. However, this special promotion will only last for a very limited time. Valued at $449, I decided to add these bonuses to help you even more. But as I said, they're only available in this deal right now. By ordering today, you will also receive the following: With the first free bonus, you will receive a reward chart with certificates for your child because this is a great way to make this process fun for your child. Over time, your child can track their own progress by using cartoon characters, and this builds their interest in successfully using the potty. It quickly becomes something they want to do rather than something they're forced to do. As they earn stickers, they will eventually receive a certificate to hang where they wish in the house. This bonus is of $39.95 value, but yours is absolutely free of charge today as a thank you gift for using my 3-day potty training guide. Here comes free bonus number 2. As you may have seen, I offer one-to-one coaching for $185 per hour, but today I'm offering my coaching for free with this program. With potty training, some parents may have unique circumstances, which is why I want to help everybody by offering my personal, undivided attention. Whenever you have any questions or need a little help, just shoot me an email and I will reply as soon as possible. This free bonus is only available for a short period of time because I want it to be for the select few only. If you get my fantastic guide today, you will receive this unlimited access, so why wait when tomorrow could be too late? There will be absolutely no exceptions to enter my personal one-to-one coaching program once it is closed, so be sure to act today if you want this free bonus. And finally, there is also bonus number 3. I constantly found myself wishing for a Bible with all the answers when raising my children. Parenting is such a huge responsibility, and it truly is one of the most rewarding experiences you can have in life. That's also what makes it totally worth it in the end. However, if you are new to parenting, especially with your first child, it can seem like you are the only person on earth who has all those specific questions you do. But in reality, nothing could be further from the truth. For this reason, I'm including my parenting Bible, Great Kids and How to Raise Them, with this package, and you save $69. Rather than constantly needing the answers and looking here, there, and everywhere to find them, you will have all the answers in this superb guide. Whether it's explaining sensitive topics to your child or keeping them safe in a seemingly dangerous world, you will have the support you need and deserve with this handbook by your side, which gives you confidence and it provides your children with the tools to succeed. With these 3 free bonuses, your life becomes so much easier, and your son or daughter can thrive during their childhood. For many years, potty training in this period in a child's life has been seen as challenging, but I want to bring the fun back. We shouldn't be resenting our children or a particular age just because society suggests it isn't easy. We should enjoy every single moment with our children, and this is what I'm attempting with this program. With these resources, you have the support and advice millions of other parents wish they had previously. With this in mind, there is one question left to answer, and I know you're all asking it right now. How much do I have to pay for the guide with all the free bonuses, including my one-on-one personal coaching program? Rather than answering this directly, I want you to change your mindset slightly because everything in this world has a cost. However, there are some things that provide value to you and those around you, and this program falls into that category nicely. Instead of looking at this program as an expense, you should be looking at it as an investment. Currently, how much are you paying for diapers each and every month? Depending on the brand and size, you could be spending anywhere between $40 and $80 monthly. Of course, diapers aren't the only products you need here because you'll also buy baby powder, wet wipes, and maybe even some creams. If we say a reserved $45 a month for diapers and additional products, this is more than $500 a year, which increases significantly once you include the other products. Now, you have this to consider. How much would you be willing to invest in a proven, quick, and simple method that guarantees you will never have to spend a single cent on diapers again, but gives you the luxury of saving this sort of money in the future instead? How about a very small one-time investment of only $37? One time. No extra charges or hassle in the future. Just $37. Considering the program has now helped 316,000 people in over 162 countries, This is the simple price of everything, and it comes in at less than 1 month's worth of diapers. Once you've made this one-time investment, all the resources we've discussed will be yours to keep, and you'll also be protected by my full money-back guarantee. Yes, you got that right. I am taking all the risk here since I am absolutely convinced of my program's quality, and you are completely backed by my personal 100% money-back guarantee and no questions asked whatsoever policy for 8 full weeks, in case you are not fully satisfied with the program. Despite being passionate about my course and proud of the journey I have taken already, I realize the program isn't perfect, and this may come as a shock statement to you when other programs and books are promising the world. However, I have absolute confidence it will work for you. Why? Because around 98.3% of people manage to get their child potty trained quickly within 3 days using this program. Out of every 200 families, this leaves less than 4 children who couldn't get it to work the first time. For those in the latter category, you're welcome to try again, as many families do, or you can simply request your money back and I will give you a full refund. There is no catch or hidden fine print, just absolute confidence that my method will also work for your child. Otherwise, how could I really afford to offer such a guarantee? Let's not forget, every single child in the world is unique, and so I think to achieve even a 98.3% success rating is incredible. As I said previously, please feel free to get in touch via my personal free bonus one-to-one coaching if you have special circumstances or need advice for your child, and I will be able to suggest additions or variations to the program to increase your chance of success. If you want to get started now, simply click on the orange Add to Cart button below and you can enter your details on our secure order page. After entering your details, you're less than next month's diapers away from having your child potty trained in less than 3 days. Even though I can't promise 100% success, would you really trust a brand who could? At a success rate of just under 99%, this is as close as you will find, and I'm incredibly proud of this figure. Not so long ago, I started scanning forums and Facebook groups to find parents who were struggling with potty training and decided to get in contact with them. After asking if they wanted to test my program, the vast majority agreed, and I sent them the program to try for a week. Once the week was up, I contacted each of the 782 individuals again and found that 769 had successfully potty trained their son or daughter. Just in case you're scrambling for your phone or a calculator, this comes out at 98.3%. I have laid out the details of the study down below. Is your child now fully potty trained? 98.3% said yes. Were the results seen within 3 days? 91.8% said yes. Would you recommend the program to others? An incredible 99.3% said yes. Only less than 1% said no. And will you keep the program for any other children? This time again, an incredible 97.6% responded with a yes. As you can see, this was a huge success, and the most interesting statistic for me is the recommendation percentage. With 99.3% of people recommending the program to friends, it shows that even some people who didn't manage to potty train their children with my program in 3 days would still recommend it to others. Perhaps they saw some progress and see the value despite the system not working 100% for themselves. Soon enough, I started to receive even more testimonials, and the first reached me from Tara in Orlando, who said after receiving the program, it took just 72 hours before we really started to see progress. Now we're 4 days into the process and we've already passed on our stash of diapers to a friend because we and our daughter feel confident enough to go it alone. When my friend's children reach the age of potty training, I won't even hesitate to recommend your program, so thank you and all the best. Next up, Kirsty from Tampa reached out a few hours later to say, with my first child, the process took much longer than I expected and I knew I had made some mistakes along the way. Therefore, when you messaged me for a trial, I was more than happy to listen to the advice of someone with your experience. Instantly, I picked up the guide and read it from cover to cover. Not only was I confident, this confidence was rewarded when my son was potty trained in just a few days. I think this should be given to all parents with all the other resources we receive from healthcare professionals and the hospital. When messages like this come from the letterbox and email, it makes me feel great because I know just how tough it can be to potty train. Furthermore, I put my heart and time into the research, and I am glad I was rewarded. From the beginning to right now, my only goal has been to help other parents, and anything else that comes with it is just a fantastic bonus. At the core, my goal is still to help as many parents as possible to remove the chore-like feeling to potty training. As the program continues and positive reviews rolling into my inbox every day, I'm confident you will start seeing results within just a couple of days, and you can wave goodbye to the smelly diapers in the morning. Instead, you'll have a confident child who enjoys staying dry through day and night, as well as training their child as expected. Many parents also have commented on how they enjoyed the process together and grew closer, and it all started with clicking on the orange Add to Cart button below. After entering your details, you will have the opportunity to get started immediately, and the program has numerous proven time-saving techniques for you to utilize moving forward right away. And just in case you were worried, I lay everything out from one step to the next, and this seems to really shock many, with parents noting how easy the guide is to follow. With my experience as a parent and in the daycare, I know just how confusing some advice can be, so this was definitely a goal for me. If the steps are easy to follow, it makes potty training easier and avoids confusion along the way. Furthermore, I also want to get right to the point with all the available information rather than filling it with useless fluff. In the past, I've come across dozens of books with 200 pages or more that could be summed up in about 30 pages, so I didn't want to add to this growing market. Instead, I wanted it to be concise, neat, and detail-oriented. From the minute you open the guide to the minute you close it, you should be learning rather than searching for the facts among useless information. And now, I want you to imagine how your improved life will be 3 days from now. After finally getting your child potty trained, it is a big relief because you and your child will have taken a huge step forward. As we all know, parenting is stressful, so getting this training done allows you to move forward with confidence. And it allows your child to start building their independence. Although they're still young, this early independence will contribute to how they behave over the coming years. When you work hard all day and get home tired off your feet, you don't want to be changing diapers. Even without the financial saving, you also need to consider the hassle you save too. Even if money isn't an issue for you, there is still time to be saved, as well as helping with your little one's development. As a parent, I know how important finances can be, so having this extra money in the bank will benefit you more than you might realize. Suddenly, the gas is more affordable, and the whole family can enjoy a treat with the groceries. When you take a step back and look at diapers from an objective point of view, we are literally paying for something from which we get no return. It's literally tossing your hard-earned cash into the trash. Rather than destroying money, you can potty train your child with ease and spend this money on more important things. Have you ever rejected a day out because you weren't sure of how your child would do? Have you ever left an event early because your child isn't yet potty trained? In truth, parents do this often, and it can be saddening to hear, but potty training opens so many new doors. After completing the program, you won't be afraid to leave the house, and you can take longer drives since you know that your child will be fine. By clicking the Add to Cart button below, you'll receive everything I've learned over a period of many years, along with the 3 free bonuses such as the parenting guides, reward chart, and my exclusive one-on-one personal coaching. Click now the orange Add to Cart button below this video to receive your ticket to a diaper-free future. Still, I just want to address some of the most common questions I regularly receive. Does your system really work within just 3 days? As you have seen in my initial and follow-up research not long ago, they both suggested that 3-day potty training is achievable and very likely. In fact, nearly 92% of people have their child potty trained within this time, with another 6% taking slightly longer. As mentioned before, I would never pretend it is 100% successful because all children are unique and offer different behaviors and habits, but my unique resources have a higher success percentage than every other course or guide on the market. If you don't see the results you expected within 8 weeks, simply get your full money back since I offer you my 100% ironclad, no questions asked money back guarantee. How fast will I get results with my child? For most parents, they have their child fully trained within 7 days, but those who are willing to go for a more intense approach usually see results within only 3 days. Once again, every child is different, and I love hearing parents of all different children, whether they're quiet, loud, shy, confident, etc., messaging me of their success. For me, being able to save families valuable dollars is all the motivation I need, along with increasing confidence in children and boosting the morale of parents. What about stubborn children? If your child has tendencies to be rather stubborn, you might be worried, but the studies and results quoted here today are for children of all personalities. This means stubborn children see consistent success too. As long as you're consistent as well and follow the steps in the program, there is no reason why you can't have the same success as the thousands of other parents had before you. Will it cause stress for my child? In short, no. With my program, you won't have to use any forceful tactics or anything that will make you or your child uncomfortable. Instead, most parents find it calming and nurturing for their child. The training helps to build the character and confidence of your child, as well as tightening the bond between you and your little one. Is there a minimum age? As a general rule, it will take longer for the younger children as they need more time to adapt and understand. However, we have seen success with children at 13 months. The more consistent success starts at around 16 to 18 months. Will my credit card details remain safe? As a parent, this is something I was worried about when handing over money on the internet in the past too. But our payment partner, Digistore24, uses McAfee and Norton for maximum data security. Furthermore, you can transfer the money using PayPal, so we have taken all the steps possible to make it safe for all users. After you click Add to Cart below this video, you'll be sent to a secure page from our payment partner Digistore24, and it takes less than a minute to finish and to receive your guide. As you've already seen, you have the full money-back guarantee as a safety net, so there is no risk to the program at all for you. Thanks for taking the time to watch the video, and I hope to talk to you soon. If you want to follow in the footsteps of thousands of parents in successfully potty training your children, click now the orange Add to Cart button below this video.